That was some serious fun out there, eh, Jimmy?
Admit it, you couldn't have done it without me.
I mean, the cannons on those Ares models. Was that like a size 7? That is nuts. Absolutely insane. Raw power. Couldn't have put it better myself, mate. This has been an eventful IAE, to say the least. But thanks to Jimmy here, I've been reminded of why I started doing all of this in the first place. At the end of the day, it's all about the ships. So here are some highlights of Intergalactic Aerospace Expos, past and present. Ships.
Haha, it's a pirate's night for me, here at the Drake Pavilion. Just don't tell Jan Dredge. Play, here we go. Oh, what's this do? Oh, holy shit. Now, what's with this front wheel axle?
And the fixed manoeuvring thrusters really come through the clutch.
See what I mean?
And once you figure out the floaty stairs, the car to Arl absolutely sings in more ways than just Shan Opera. We've loaded up this Argo raft with several cases of Bondurant Vaisseau Blanc de Blanc Reserve. That's right, 2 crates of sparkling wine worth more than my penthouse in Castor Point. Ridiculous? Certainly. Now, I was always terrible at this. Nailed it.
I can't find the limit! Apology accepted!
Jimmy? You okay, lad? What's this?
Looking good, Jim.
How old are you in this?
Now go pose for a picture with your hero, Jack.
Wow.
Face me. Smile. Say freelancer. Brilliant. Look at that.
Damn it, Jimmy. That warms my heart. Makes me feel old as hell, but it warms my heart nonetheless. You're a good kid, Jimmy. You make me proud. Let's get out of here before they kick us out. Let's go and see what the hubbub's about over at the MISC Pavilion. Dare to fly. I think I still need to do some serious soul searching, Jimmy. There it is. The Odyssey. This ship is something else, huh? I mean, supposedly it basically becomes your own personal space station. Imagine just taking this thing out as far as you can, dropping anchor and just living. I mean, that's it, Jimmy. Your Whitleys just got their hands on an Odyssey prototype. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I borrowed it, for a little sabbatical someplace. I don't know, like the Pyro system. Yeah, or someplace like that. I mean, someplace where no one will bother me. I need to get my head straight before next season. If I even make it back, that is. Okay, everything is looking good. This is it.
I'll miss you too, Jimmy.
But don't wait up for me, mate.
Well then. Well then. Let's see. Is it working? Well then. Okay. Let's see. Is it working? Well then. Okay. Let's see. So, what's up? We have a new ship on our hands. Let's see. So, what's up? We have a new ship on our hands. So, here we go. Take exploration further than ever before. Oh yeah. And then, so the Odyssey is pretty much a so basically it's a major spaceship with its capability of surveying further than ever before, going into exploration, but exploring planets and other star systems, but in its capability of finding minerals like quantum, the quantanium, quantanium. So discovery, new life deep among the stars, only from MISC. So, says 6 crew. Now cargo capacity is around 252 SCUs. It's a pretty big ship. Then we got shields and weaponry. So remote turrets supporting size 5. So dual size 5 times 3. Pretty much 6. Then you got a, I don't know what's up with this thing. All right, then you got a hangar. That's surprising. So, super cool. Really cool, even. So it could hold a small fighter or any specialized ships. Recon. Doesn't come with a ship that I know of inside or anything like that, or even a vehicle. So that you would have to get on your own in the game, or future down the road, they might even come out with their own versions. All right, then we got a tier 2 medical bay, which is very important because when you're far away and you don't, basically this ship is to go into the dark and explore planets that have resources. And pretty much when you're going out in the wild, far away, and you're using the ship to explore and make extreme amounts of money, this is the ship for you. Because you'll be able to go mining. You could do trade runs with this ship. Obviously, any ship could be trade runs, but you can do trade runs with the ship. But by mining, you're automatically getting the resources. So, and if you're damaged or hurt, then you just have a really high-end tier 2 bed. Yeah. You got all this beautifulness. See, like you got a really good mix. Like you got weapons above. There's even one on the bottom here. 3 weapons. And it's super cool because you can transport quantanium. Explore the galaxy and get a bunch of quantanium. And then you got a tractor beam, because you're going to need a tractor beam because when you're in space, especially when you're mining in space, you're pretty much needing, this ship is self-sufficient, so it's going to want a lot of capability to be able to take the asteroid, get it close enough to the ship without it going all over the place or even bringing it closer to you, because you don't want to bring the ship like 50 degrees here, 75 degrees here, 4400 arc here, and it's going to be insane, right? So you got to be a little bit more strategic and use a tractor beam so it gets closer, and then you go mining. It's insane, because then obviously there's a refinery built onto the ship. So instead of you worrying about mining quantanium and blowing up your ship to junk, you got a ship that has a refinery on board. And it's self-sufficient to a point where you don't even really need to refill at all the ship. It just has all the resources that you need to go mine, refine, and then use those resources to refill your ship, so then you could go back to quantum at any time and any place. Pretty much, because then you just go out in space and you go mine it. Then obviously there are ways to get the ship to be able to refill its hydrogen or whatever the resource is called, I forgot already, that you can automatically just, refill it to just use thrusters instead of going quantum. So there is a built-in, because I know the Starfarer has it, so now this ship has it. So a lot of the mechanics that are already in the game is going to be added super quickly to this ship. This ship will probably, most likely, I can never guess the right answer, but this ship will probably come out much sooner than we anticipate it to be, because they have a lot of the unique ability of the ship that is already in game that's capable of being put on the ship without going to too much detail or too much issues, as it were. There's always going to be issues. There's going to be flaws. It's game development. It takes time. But there is a mining arm, a tractor beam, and also a massive refinery and a bunch of cargo storage so you can just keep on going. And it's all remote operated mining arm. And then it goes on the bottom here. They have so much space too, so then you can see it's really, really unique and cool that it's designed all in one ship. This ship is basically to go into the abyss and come out rich, pretty much. And very self-efficient, which is insanely good. See, a refinery on board, which basically you can capture gases and all sorts for the intakes, like I was talking about earlier. Then you can pretty much get hydrogen, and then convert it to fuel, while mining quantanium is refined into quantanium fuel or quantum fuel to extend your expedition, and go out into the abyss pretty much and get all the resources that you need to keep on refueling yourself and refueling. This is a money ship. You will make a truckload of money. You don't want to bring an Orion or a prospector into the abyss, without being self-sufficient. A lot of these ships don't have that capability, where you could just refine quantanium on the go. Now, I'm sure they'll eventually add a specific refinery ship that is much bigger than this ship, or around the size that's just pure refinery. Maybe even modify this ship to be able to just do that, just to refine, and that's it. But, you got a refinery on board. This ship is good for major fleets. Oh, it's amazing, this ship. I love it. So here we go. So basically a gravity generator inspired by the Xindi, which is interesting. Then you got the elevator, which goes to all 3 decks. Then you have here a refinery, to create your own fuel source or fuel supply. Crazy, Unbelievable. And you got all this space, a corridor. Oh man, it's gonna be amazing. What else was here? Oh yeah, and then you got the engines. So then you can pretty much a breeze to fix, repair, maintenance, and all that stuff. To me, it feels like you need at least minimum 7 people. But in practicality, like realistically, 7 people is a lot of people, but it's not that much because you do need to maintain the ship. It looks like in the next deck, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that go in the front. So if you really want to maintain this ship, I guess the best optimal way, right? You would need a lot more than 7 people. Like the best, smartest, optimal way. But you can do pretty decent with just 6 to 7 people. So I would say 8 people could technically utilize this ship. And you kind of want to, because you want to have specific, well, at least for me, when you're going into the unknown, 7 people is good enough, or 6. It says 6, but we will know in the Q&A in a day or so, or whenever they come out with the Q&A. But for me, a big ship like this, because when I saw the Carrack, I love the Carrack too. The Carrack is not the same as this ship. You can't compare this to the Carrack. The Carrack is more of a pathfinder. It finds wormholes. It finds sciencey stuff. It's a different kind of exploration. This ship explores planets and space, space itself, like asteroids and stuff like that, and finds rocks, minerals, and stuff like that to be able to get those resources and put it on this ship, because there's a refinery on board. So the Carrack is more space science, pathfindery, where you go into the abyss and you find other star systems, the unknown, right? And then you get that data and you could give it to people that have the Odyssey, because then those people will go ahead and mine and resources and resource gathering, the Orions and stuff like that. So this will come first, and then with a small fleet, and then this will or a small like 1 or 2 more ships, and then this will automatically figure out what is needed in those areas after the Carrack scans the area, right? And then finds threats. Yeah, the Carrack will find threats, and then this ship, once it's not as bad, right, and it's kind of like, okay, not that threatening, then the Carrack will give that detail, that information to the Odyssey. And then the Odyssey will go into space and find those areas that the Carrack found and automatically mine those areas. And then if there's something super like insanely interesting, the Odyssey could tell, the huge org that you have with the Odyssey, right? And you tell them, we need 1 or 2 Orions to come with us with this ship. Like have a whole entire, it's like a domino effect. And each domino is the resource that gathers that detail. So then the next domino drops, and then that information gets dropped, and then it goes down the line. And this ship is really that good. And it's insane because it's self-sufficient. So we'll keep on scanning and scanning for minerals, things that are needed for the org. So that's what you need in an organization, this kind of ship. So there you go on that. So 7 people. You got to remember, if you have another ship in the hangar, you're going to want at least 8 people, because if it's a single fighter or even some kind of smaller ship that does scanning, for example, or fighting or whatever, you're going to want to have 1 extra person. So 7 people, well, it says 6, but let's say 7 people to fly this ship to maintain the ship, and an the eighth person would be to fly the other ship, the one that's in the hangar. Or you would have to have more, because then if you have both people inside the ship, right? So 6 people to 7 people maintaining the ship, one person maintaining a smaller ship, and then you got like 1 or 2 other people that are basically taking vehicles to go mining or resource gathering or data collecting or whatever, then they automatically you would need more people to maintain the ship, plus maintain the ground troops, plus maintain, the small ship that's in the hangar. Then you've got component access, which is great because it's a lot easier now. You don't have to go a million miles away to try to repair or do any kind of modifications to the ship. You could have an engineering guy go from the bridge to the main component access area and fix everything, or even upgrade things on the fly. You can upgrade, change things out and stuff like that from here, which is great. It's much easier. So 1, 2, skip away, and then boom, you're already there. Then you've got the remote turret control, which is 3 of them, size 5, which is crazy, right? And then there's also supposed to be missile racks. We don't know this. I don't know the size of the missiles, but there's supposed to be 4 racks. The ship is pretty beefy in power. It's not as well-rounded, like there's no turrets on the sides or anything, but the turrets do go around. I guess some of them do go around 100% 60-degree arc or whatever. So it can go side to side and stuff like that, and back to back and all that. So I think that the ship is fairly well covered in that regard. So all of it can be controlled by the bridge, which is great. Then you've got escape pods, which is very close to the bridge, which is amazing. Yeah. Hope everyone agrees here. It's amazing. It would stink that you would have to eject, but if all else fails, just like it says here, that would hurt. I would cry so bad. Or you could use the escape pod to escape from an enemy, which is also another thing, right? And then have a nuclear device in here and somehow blow up the ship. Meanwhile, you're running away from an enemy. If all else fails, you can't just give up the ship. Don't do that. No. All right. Then you've got crew quarters, right? So it says 6, accommodate 6, but we all know there's probably, most likely in the Q&A, we'll figure it out. There might even be something like a captain's quarters, which I'm surprised it's not in here, but we'll figure it out. We'll find out, and I'll post that when the time comes, the Q&A. Then we've got the mess hall, which is a pretty big area. It's no joke. It's pretty big. Yeah, food, supplies, and stuff like that. You gotta have something for something. Now, there's 2 areas here that I'm not sure if it's the same thing as this. Looks the same to me on both sides. So yeah, we'll find out in the Q&A. But anyway, the mess hall is pretty cool. Big area, common area. You could play cards, maybe chess, checkers, or some kind of game that CIG creates for the game. I hope they create their own version of games. You could have like a mini freelancer game, like inside the game, or whatever they created before. I'm trying to remember what games they created before, like mini games. Probably have like a machine here or something like that in the common area. Then this is the elevator to go to all 3 decks. And then you've got here, you've got a small docking collar, for small ships. You can dock on small ships with this big ship. Then you got a large docking collar for stations. And then you got a huge, now I'm going to say this, This is a huge locker room. Like, for 6 people, this is massive. This is ginormous locker room. It's pretty big. Yeah, it's huge. And then now we're gonna go to the hangar. This is the interesting part as well. A mining control area and the tractor beam. So pretty much down here, you got like a panoramic, like a huge view, like a massive, just like in the Freelancer, a view. So then you can actually mine, and also the same thing with the bridge. You got the same thing, like a long view. It's on the bridge, then you can see out, and mining and tractor beam and stuff like that. I believe it's for one person though. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out when the ship is fully completed. Then you got the mining systems, for Quantanium, gathering the Quantanium, integrated mining arm. So that's where the arm pumps out, I guess. I'm not sure. I would guess so, right? Then you've got the medical facilities, which these are pretty high. It's a pretty good tier facility. If you go on a planet, you get hurt or whatever, or you're about to die, you could just spawn in this bed, because it is pretty much like a hospital. Hospital spec tier 2 medical bay, right? Then you've got the ramp where everything could come in, all the vehicles, even having 2 motorcycles, and the rest is cargo, and it goes right into the cargo area. 252 SCUs of cargo, or you could store vehicles, or whatever they come up with in the future. You never know, right? Then we got the elevator again, which does go to all 3 decks. I don't know if this goes down, like down to the floor, to be able to enter or exit the ship. Don't know, because from the ramp you can exit and re-enter, but we don't know if it can actually access exiting the ship as well, because we all know that we all want a ship to have 2 entrances and 2 exits. Now, obviously, there's more than that, because you got the docking collars, but that's a different story. And then you got the hangar, but who knows? Maybe you can do whatever, get in some other way. Now, it looks like I'm not sure, but here there would be a ladder, I think, to get to all 3 decks. I'm not sure, but we'll find out when we get more details on the ship. All right, so cargo bay, yeah. Then here, this is where the tricky part is, right? You could probably have more cargo. You could probably put more things in here. You can most likely put either a ship or a vehicle in here, in this area, in the hangar, having cargo as well. Looks like this door right here where it leads to the hangar from the storage area does look big enough to fit a vehicle from through and through. And instead of having where this storage is filled up with all the ships, like cargo, then you could have vehicles in here, or a ship in here, or maybe more cargo in here in the hangar. We don't know yet. We'll have to do that type of test in the future, or the Q&A will say that. But we'll have to see. But it can it could fit a small ship. So a Saber, possibly, I don't know, but possibly a Terrapin, or a future ship that's similar to a Terrapin, or any other future ships as well. Then you got the viewing area, so you can view out. You know what I mean? View out into to the abyss, to the back, I guess. The great unknown. Then there's a bunch of pictures here. Look at that. See, the weapon is right there. There's another one here. Don't know where the missile area is. So you got here, you got the arc area where you can view for the mining. There's the mining laser, mining arm. Then you got the tractor beam. I'm kind of guessing it's in this area. Then you got the ramp that they were talking about in the dock over there that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, this is a really cool ship. Like, we need ships like this. Maybe a few different other ones that are similar to this, but we do need more ships like this because it's a surveyor slash explorer slash self-sufficient explorer, because you are exploring planets and asteroid belts to, you know, where locations are not well known into space and could protect itself. Obviously, you don't want to fight a freaking Vandal raid, you know, a Vandal fleet with this ship. But this ship is a support class ship because it also gives out resources and stuff like that. It's not a direct fighting magnet, you know, but it is well protected. And we'll get on that in a moment. Then we got it close to the sun, or not the sun, but a volcano. I guess the technology of the ship can tolerate the heat of the volcano. Then you got the medical bay. Look at that. On top, looks interesting up top here. Very technical area here. Huh. You could see pretty cool. These are probably the escape pods up here. I'm not sure. Probably. Then you've got, I don't know what these black marks are. Solar panels? Who knows, right? But it's a bulky ship. It's strong. I'm sure it's very strong. You can see the docking collar is a small one. Very MISC. Very, very much like a MISC ship. And I do like MISC ships. My favorite ship was one of the freelancers. Now you got the refinery area, which is also insane, because those don't look small, I can tell you that much. What else? Look at that. See, now it's mining. Oof. Oh, man. And the sabers. Pretty interesting how it opens and closes the doors, though. Huh. See, now it's defending itself. Cutlass. I see missile here. A boom there. Two of these together. I think two of these together would be OP. I would love to buy two of these, but there's no way. When the game is out, I can. But right now, there's no way. I only got one, but I want to. And also, I would like to do giveaways eventually. Whenever the channel grows. And do a lot of things. Build up the community and everything as well. But look at this, man. Like, this ship is huge. It's massive. You got the rovers going in a tumbrel. Look at this guy, the small guy here. These small guys here, and then look at the ship. It's bigger than a Carrack, but it's not the same as the Carrack. So I hope everyone understands that. I know that people want a competitor to the Carrack. One day we probably will get one. This is not a competitor to the Carrack. This is more like a support ship for the Carrack in the future for a org or a corporation in space that wants to make money, that goes into the unknown after the Carrack does all its scanning and sees if everything is well and safe, or finds a star system, right? The Carrack will find a star system and help out this the Odyssey, or anybody that's working on, you know, going out into the abyss and taking a few of these or one or two of these and a small little force to protect it. And, you know, a support, this is pretty much a support ship, a refinery ship, a mining ship, and also a supplier. This is a supply ship to supply quantanium and some resources to your org or your small group that you're working with. And it does look like this might have VTOL thrusters. We will have to find out in the Q&A or in the future. But it really does look like this does have VTOL thrusters. What else? What do we have here? So the height, 35 meters, width, 90, length, 140. So it is much bigger in a way than, well, a bit bigger than the Carrack. Now, cargo size is smaller than the Carrack, but there might be a chance that the hangar could be modified in some way to carry a little bit more cargo. So it could either be a ship, extra ship, or some kind of like rover that carries all the cargo, or it could be some of these pods here that could carry cargo and then put in the ship in the hangar area. We just don't know until the ship is fully out. And I feel like the Q&A might not explain that, because even the Polaris, you could probably fit some kind of ship inside the Polaris that could have cargo as well. And the Polaris does have a hangar as well, and a ramp as well. And this looks like a small dish down here. Then you got, yeah, the dish down there to the radar thing. Yeah, like it says, a small hangar pad. Well, they should just say, yeah, I guess hangar landing pad. I don't know. I would say hangar. Okay. Then you got crew 6, but we know that you might need more. Now 6 is minimal, but for a ship this size, realistically wise, and to use the ship to its maximum potential, I'd say 3 more people or 2 more people above this number would be wise. Then you got tier 2 medical bay. So tier 2 beds with an ICU. Pretty much if you get hurt or anything, you could respawn on this ship, because this is the long range, most advanced civilian class ship you could possibly have. Surveyor / explorer ship. Technically it is an explorer ship, but it explores the ground, most like planets mostly, and things that are, you know, helping it to get more resources so they could do trades on that specific resource and make a truckload of money. Then you, like I said, you got the remote turrets, which is insanely cool. We might even be able to upgrade it to a tier 6 or a size 6. We just don't know until we see the Q&A, until the actual ship is out, to do those kind of tests. And I'm going to start making videos on that as well. Then you got the size 4 shields, which is capital size. I don't even think the Carrack has size 4, at least that I'm aware of. Good look at the Carrack. And yeah, MISC came out. I'm going to be doing a video on that shortly. ships. All manufacturers. Carrick. Carrick is a beautiful ship. It's a really, really, really good ship. Radar large, and there's two of them. Now there's one. I think there's one. I don't know. It doesn't say. Well, it shows one. So it's one large one. Now, obviously, there's two of them here. So it is designed for wormhole Pathfinder thingy. So it is a Pathfinder. Then you've got here, you've got actually shields, right? Shields. Oh, it does have two large. But it doesn't specify. Does it? Manufacturer. This says large. This says size 4. So this says L, which could be a size 4, two size 4s, probably two size 3s. Doesn't say the number. Just says L. So we'll have to look at that later. I might have in the Q&A of the Carrick. Mining laser size 2, but we'll have to see because this ship might be, the mining laser might be a lot bigger. We'll have to see in the Q&A or in the future. Size 3 quantum drive and size 3 tank. So fuel tank. It's a pretty darn good ship. Then you've got the war bond, 2 war bonds. This one is the war bond with the Wind Raider paint. Then you've got the base stock paint with the war bond, and then you got the credit, $700. So these two are $625, $700 for that one. Then you got, like the pack. So this is without war bond. This is with war bond. Let's see. What's it come with? It comes with the Saber. And then it comes with the Tombrel Cyclone TR. And obviously, lifetime insurance and the industrial hangar. Now, I feel like they're working on hangars soon because I saw some changes on the regular hangars on the planets and stuff. So I kind of feel like, or at least I thought there was some changes. Now, see here is, what is that? Is that the elevator? I think that is the elevator, so I just got my answer, I think. Huh. But this ship has a huge freaking ramp. Wow. But thank you for watching, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please help out the channel by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and commenting below. And let me know what you think about Star Citizen's new Odyssey. And are you gonna get one? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. And stay safe out there and enjoy. And see you in the black.